So previously, I will go quickly with whatever we had discussed previously. So if anyone have any doubt that how HTML working, image tag, different element we had seen. So registration form means input field of the form. So how these all are working, how we can write the code. If any issue, then you can. So today we have to discuss regarding the CSS. So actually, what is CSS? As we had discussed in the slide previously, that regarding the HTML. So HTML was just like a skeleton. It's not going to perform any type of activity. It's like complete black and white page. So we had written the code already in the case of the HTML. We will go any of the code, whatever we had written yesterday. Is visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, just 1 second. So whatever code we had written, that was completely black and white because HTML only providing the skeleton of the web pages. It can't do any extra task. Like if you can see that button is there, so button can't click. Nothing will happen with the help of HTML. It will give you plain black and white screen. No any attraction, no any styling, nothing. So with the help of CSS, we can attach somewhat attractive, means we can design attractive UI with the help of CSS. So how we can design that with the help of the CSS? Let me start the slide. So what is CSS? So with the help of, as we discussed, with the help of HTML, we can design the web page only. We can design the skeleton frame of the any web pages. But with the help of CSS, we can apply the styling. So what is CSS? So CSS is stand for the cascading style set. It is commonly known as HTML was known as the hypertext markup language. So same type CSS known as the cascading style set. Next, CSS going to describe how elements are to be displayed on the screen, paper, or in other media. In the sense, whatever code we writing in the case of the HTML, we can design that HTML code with the help of the CSS property. CSS going to save lots of work. It can control the layout of the multiple web pages all at once. Means we can design, means the code going to reduced. We can design complete UI in one shot, like that. Multiple facility it will provide you. So ways of writing CSS is different ways are there. We will look over that also. So external CSS style sheets are going to store in the CSS file. In the sense, whatever code while production time, if you're going in the industry level, so that time we are writing the code separately. Means we're not going to mix all the code in the same file. No, that's not the good practice of writing the code. Because if you're writing all code in one file, it will be very burden for the future time. Because if you're writing any code, it's going to be long, means it's going to sustain long time. So suppose if means after 2 years, suppose some new developer came in that profile and he have to work on that project. Now just you can imagine how he will start writing the code if you had mixed all the things. So that's why when you're writing code, naming convention, proper maintaining of code, proper naming convention should be there to separate the file. Everything should be proper. That's why, so that any other developer who going to join for that project, he can easily understand the code and whatever is written, he can continue on that project. So for that purpose, means for a styling purpose, we using CSS. So why use CSS? Why not any other? So CSS is going to provide different styling facility. Like if you have to add the color, yesterday someone had asked how we can add text color. So if you have to add text color, background color, different layout is there. Suppose you have images you want to design. Today we had a drop one PDF also in the chat that we going to discuss those type of designs. So those was that topic actually. So we will look over that. So next thing, how we will write CSS. So CSS we will write with the help of whatever tag, element, whatever is there, we will write that, and after that we will provide the property. We can see one example here. We will write that code also. So here you can see element, after that properties value. Let's write the code. This is not theory actually. So first we will create one HTML file. Yesterday itself we had discussed how we can create HTML file with the help of the .html extension. Let's create one sample example of HTML. Sorry. So we will just write one h1 tag, no more. Welcome to India. So next, what we will do here, we written just h1. Okay, let's run this code and let's look over the UI. Okay, so what we got? We got welcome to India. Now, suppose we want for the styling purpose. Okay, so in the example, we had seen that how we writing the code. See here. What are we passing? We passing element. After that, properties and value. So what we will do? We will take the element. Element in the sense here we have h1, h1 tag. So on h1, we want to put some CSS. So while writing CSS, what we have to do? We have to write style tag. We will write with HTML itself. Later we will see what are the different ways are there. So we will write here style. Okay. And after writing a style, we will pass the property here. We will pass the property, which property we want. Like suppose we want to make the color of the welcome. Yeah, anyone have issue? Use mute. Okay, so we taken the style. Here what we want to put background color. Okay, so how we will write the background color? Just let write this background color, and after if you getting this suggestion, then okay. If you're not getting the suggestion, you can go to the extension market here in the VS Code, and here you can search for the CSS. You will get multiple extensions there, and you can install any of the extension that will help you while writing the code. In industry also you have to follow the same type. So here background color. After that we can pass any type of color. Already you getting the suggestion of the color. We can pass that color. So now we got the color. So this type actually be providing the CSS. So how we had written? We written a style tag. What? Sorry, that is style attribute. Attribute yesterday I had discussed that what is attribute. So this become the extra than tag. Whatever tag we have, h1 is the tag. We have a style. So style equal to whatever property we passed, background color. So that become the property. Okay. So whatever property you want to apply, background color, text color, anything you can write here. So be written here background color, and whatever color we want, we can pass that one. So this type we can apply CSS over any tag. So now we understand that how we can write the CSS. So this is the one way of writing the CSS. Okay. Next, how to add CSS. Now, so when browser read a style sheet, it will format the HTML document according to the information in the style sheet. Means when we writing the code, what will happen actually when browser is going to load this page, it will start executing from the top. Line by line execution will start. It will start from the top. as it enter into the line number 12 H1. So it will load that content also, and it will start reading the CSS also, whatever CSS we had passed. So like that type, it going to display the information on the UI. So what are the ways in which we can write the CSS? Now just imagine one thing we had written here. So what we done here we written H1, okay, and here with tag itself we had written the style. Suppose that, just imagine tomorrow you have 500 line of code. What you will do? You will copy paste the code. Means like that we can do. Means with the same tag itself we had written this complete CSS. Just imagine, suppose after 2 years, someone have to change the color of this particular tag or particular content. Now you can imagine how much complicated that will be for changing the color, because now you have just 10 line of code. It's easy. You can do that. But when it become 1,000 line of code, when the length of code going to increase, that time it become too much problem. So we have different ways of writing CSS. So that is the thing we will discuss. So what is that? There are three different ways of writing the CSS. One is external file, external CSS. So how we writing the external CSS? So external CSS, we writing file name dot CSS. We will see that how we can create that. So let's create itself. So external CSS, we will create file name dot CSS extension. So like that HTML, previously we had created the file of HTML. Now we will create the file of CSS. So give the file name. Now be writing just one dot CSS. You can give any name there. One dot CSS, home dot CSS, anything, whatever you want. Like this type, we can create the CSS file. Okay, but this is the process of writing external CSS. If you writing the other way of CSS, second way is internal CSS. How we writing internal CSS? Internal CSS we writing style tag. Now second thing, let me delete this all, not required. Let me go to another set. New file 2.html. Okay, so what we have to see? We have to look over the internal CSS. Internal CSS. So what we had written in the document? We had written internal CSS will come with the style tag. Okay, a style tag in the sense, what is a tag? Basic question. Who can answer this? What is a tag? Who have idea? Anyone?
Those word we are writing for big bracket and a small bracket.
Okay,
Greater than
means
a smaller than, sir.
okay, fine. Means something text or content be writing between the less than and greater than. Correct. So like here, body, less than, greater than. In the middle of that, we written the body. So that become the tag. So like that, whatever is available in this complete HTML, if that is available inside the less than and greater than bracket, that will be the part of the tag. That is known as the tag. So like that, in the mute. Okay, so what we had written in the internal CSS, a style tag. Tag means less than, greater than. That is the key point. So first we will write the style tag. How we writing a style tag? Less than, greater than. And inside that you have to pass a style. Okay, so this way we can write the one second, style tag. This is your style tag. So in interview, anytime anyone going to ask you what is tag, so you can directly tell that any text or any content which is inside less than, greater than, enclosed with the help of the less than, greater than, that will be known as the tag. Okay, so what is internal CSS? Internal CSS a style tag. What we written? be written here style tag. Just remove this. Okay, means inside this style tag we have to write the code. Next CSS, inline CSS. In inline CSS, what is that? Style attribute. Now tell me, anyone, what is attribute? What is attribute?
Extra than tag.
The content written with
Okay,
tag, sir.
content written with tag, in the sense along with that tag. Correct. So whatever be writing along with that tag, that will becomes under the attribute. Why are you writing theory? Okay, so that is inline CSS. Okay, so in inline, what we learn? Style attribute. In the sense, we will write a style attribute like this type. Okay, this is known as the style attribute. Now we will look one by one with complete examples. So inline CSS, we will write style with tag. Okay, so here you can see that H1, and in H1 style background color red. This is the part of the inline CSS. Means if you have to write inline CSS, how we will write? We will write with that tag itself. So here this become the H1 tag, and in H1 tag we writing the style, and here we can pass the property, whatever property we want. Suppose we want to make a color something. Take color as a green. Save. File number 3. We got the inline CSS, and that will be the means we applied the background color as a green. So this is the part of this type we can apply the inline CSS. Inline CSS will applied with the tag itself. Now we had made another file that was, remove this one. Okay, this is for the internal CSS. Anyone also? We will rename the file itself. That will be easy. So this is inline. And this is for DERNL, internal. So how we writing internal CSS? So internal CSS will be with the tag. Okay, so this become inline CSS. Inline CSS be seen that H1 we will pass the style, means whatever style property you have to, you can pass here. What will be the output? Output will be the hello world, and it become completely red because we applied the tag with the style with H1 tag. Next, internal CSS. So internal CSS, what we will do? We will write the style with the in HTML file. That is the main thing. Inline CSS in the sense along with the tag, but internal CSS that will be with style tag. So whatever code we had written just now, let me go there. Whatever code we had written in inline CSS, we had written this complete code. We will copy this line itself, and we will go in the internal file and pass here. Okay, now one dot here. Remove this style keyword here because already be giving the tag name. Now, can anyone tell me this background color property on which tag we going to apply? Is it possible to
No.
identify with the here? We can't identify, correct? So because we written just background color, correct? But here we had not written any tag name. So what we have to do? We have to specify the tag name, that on which tag name we going to provide this background color. Suppose that I not want on this H1, I want on the body itself. What we will do? We will provide the body tag. Okay. And after that, we can pass the CSS. It means you have to specify the tag here. In the case of inline CSS, in case of inline CSS, we had not specified any tag here because we already with that tag itself. What problem you facing? Yeah, tell. Okay, maybe some network issue. Okay, so in inline CSS, fine. So internal CSS, what we writing? We have to provide a tag. On which tag you have to specify that. So here what we done? We written the tag name. It become the body tag, and after that we providing the CSS property. Let's save and let's see the output. What happened? Internal CSS. Slide is not visual. What about others? Is it visible?
Yes, sir, visible.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
It's visual.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Visible.
Just anyone a message in the group that tell him to rejoin. Maybe due to network connectivity, he facing that issue. Okay, so what we done? We written the internal CSS. And how we writing the internal CSS? Internal CSS we writing with the style tag. So this time what we understand? We understand that how we can pass CSS in two ways. Two ways, that was one was inline CSS and one was internal CSS. So here you can see we had applied something. We had applied some style over H1. Yeah, hello. Any issue? Anyone have? Okay. So here what we written the code on H1. We targeting here H1, and on H1 we going to provide the background color. Background color become the red. Let's see the output. So here on hello world we provided the H1, means whatever we had got the output in previous slide in case of inline, the same output we getting in the case of the next slide also, but the way of writing code is different. Content view option is not showing. Content view option. Okay. So next, internal CSS. Internal CSS, we seen that the way of writing is different, but output will be same. Now external CSS. So in external CSS, what we have to do? We will get the same output in all the three process. Output will be same, but way of writing is the different. So in external CSS, we have to create the separate style file. So let's see. So suppose we have to take one HTML file. Suppose we taking index.html. Okay. Here we had given just important code. We had not written complete body structure. Let me create one file itself. So here what we will do? We will write the external CSS. So how we writing the external CSS? Here we have one file, one.css, and main thing, how we will create the external CSS file. So we have to create that with the help of the extension .css. Okay, it means one.css, file name.css, anything you can write here. Okay, message in the group that maybe recording will be available. If you press the back button, then please click on the circle on the. Okay, so one.css, any file name we can pass. But now the case is that suppose we created this external CSS file. We created the external CSS file. Here we written h1 external. We want to load the file and let's see that the output first. Then we will discuss on this point. What happened? We have external CSS. That's fine. But where is the output? So output is not there. It means the CSS which we are going to write in the case of this external CSS, okay, that not going to connected each other, because previously when we was writing internal CSS file, that time the CSS and the HTML file both had got linked together because both was in the same file. But now in this case it's separate. We will write some code on H1, whatever line of code we was writing previously, same line of code we will write here. But now, previously we was writing style tag, style attribute, like this type, different some styling purpose we was writing. But when you creating the CSS file, no need to write any type of a style there. Okay, so we will write one just normal property, same background color, and let's take this time difference. Let's save. What happened? We not got the output. Why? Because this CSS file and this HTML file, there is no relation. No one had make the connection between this both file. So first what we have to do, we have to provide the connectivity between this both. How we can provide connectivity? With the help of the link tag. Okay, so when you attending interview, the very basic question that interviewer will ask, and you will 110% you will forget how you connecting the CSS file. What is the use of that link tag? Okay, this is very basic question, but interview time be forgetting this because we are not going to revise this small level of question. That is the main mistake we are doing. So we have to be the clear picture regarding this all basic things. So now connect this file. Now what happened? We connected this one.css, and here whatever we had applied that came. In the sense, now what we want to apply some style on the body tag also. Body tag in the sense this complete body. Okay, so write the CSS. Let's apply the background color itself and pass the color name. Now we got the output. It means when we writing CSS, we have three ways of writing CSS. One inline, internal, and external CSS. So when we going for the, then what is the problem in all the case? Just let's decide one conclusion here, that we have three CSS. So which CSS we will follow while writing the code in the industry or college life or anywhere? So suppose when we writing inline CSS and HTML tag both are combined in the same line itself. So now just imagine if you have 3000 line of code, how you will manage? It's become very difficult, correct? So in that case, it's not the good practice. Never try to use the inline CSS. First thing. Second, then what is that internal and external? Let's move that. Now, in the case of internal, what we are doing? We have to use style tag, correct? Tell that person, message in the group regarding that person to restart his mobile. Maybe after that, his network issue will be got resolved something. Just message in the group, tell him to restart mobile or restart the Skype itself. Okay, so here what we done? So in the case of internal CSS, we writing with the help of the style tag. So next, inline be rejected, while interview time means while best practice, we going to reject this one. Next, what about the means internal CSS? So internal CSS we will follow or not. Now just imagine, now we have just one line of code. Suppose that in the CSS itself we have 3000 line of code. Now just you can imagine on the page of HTML how it will look like. That become very, means the file size become increased. That is also not the good practice of writing CSS. Means inline and internal. Never try to write, but yeah, sometime you will see that that is the case that you have to write that. But in the industry side, developing side, production environment, you will never write the CSS in the internal and inline. Never try to make habit of writing that. So always follow the external CSS. Because why be writing external CSS? Because this is complete separate file. Here just HTML file and the CSS file is separately. Now the problem is that suppose that you have 10 file of CSS. Okay, here we have only one file. Suppose that we have 10 file. What we will do? means 10 file of CSS. How we will identify that which file is going to connected in the CSS file. So sorry, with HTML file. So what we will do, just press cursor here. Press the click control button. When you putting cursor over this, it is showing that instruction. Follow link, control plus click. Okay. So if you have not idea where is this CSS file, just press control button. Press click the mouse right arrow here. Sorry, left arrow. You will directly go into that CSS file. Okay, so this way we are identifying, because when you have more number of file, means file, and when we going in the like a JavaScript side of code, this time we going to identify that whether we are pointing correct variable or not. That is going to help you, because when you have more number of file, that's become very difficult. Now you will think that it's very easy, we can identify, that's fine. Here you can easily identify we have only one file, but in the real scenario it's very complicated, because now you can see you have just 4 or 5 files here, but actually in the real application this is not the case. You will get like 100 200 files only. Then you can imagine the code, because the file size it going to increase the number of count of the file itself. So that time it's very difficult to managing that type of a structure. So that's why we have to always follow the practice of writing separate CSS. So total we have discussed regarding the three ways of writing CSS, that's inline, internal, external. So when we writing this, we getting the same output. Output wise there is no changes, but always we have to follow the writing of the external CSS. For the real scenario it's going to be the helpful for maintaining the code. These all. So anyone having any issue up to here, you can ask doubt. Any doubt? Anyone having? No doubt? Okay.
Sir, why use a style attribute?
Okay. Yeah, 1 second. Style attribute. Fine. Can anyone answer this question? Why be using a style attribute?
Sir, provide the text decoration, sir.
Sir, add a style in content for web pages. For
Okay.
change the color, add color,
Okay. Yeah.
add
Correct.
size.
Means, so see, what is attribute? First point. So whatever be writing with the tag, okay, that is known as the attribute. So if you have to apply CSS, now just imagine one thing, remove this also. Now can you tell what is this background color and whose property is this? No, we can't decide. Not me. Browser will not decide, because browser know only HTML. He have no idea of the CSS, JavaScript, jQuery, Python, anything. Okay, but with the help of the something middleware, in the middle someone is there who will understand the code, who will convert that into the understandable of the browser side. So we writing the style attribute because this is the part of the CSS, this is the part of the styling. So that's why we writing that style attribute. Then only it means when you writing the CSS, you have to go with the style tag, either a style attribute or external style sheet. A style sheet where we writing the code. So a style attribute be passing for writing the CSS. Clear? That is the answer actually. Anyone next?
Yes, sir.
So whenever be writing CSS, you have to go with the style keyword. Means you can tell that like keyword, whether it is a internal, external or inline, anything it will be. Okay, so now we understand how we can write HTML code, how we can write the CSS code. Now we will move some real practical. So how we can pass the CSS color? Suppose we have text color. Okay, we already know how to write the CSS. So now we will try to follow the external part. We will not go with the internal CSS. Okay, so let's make the sample. 1 second, sorry. Let's write here itself. So what we written? We written just one h1 tag. And now what is our requirement? We want to change the color of the HTML tag. So how we can pass the color? So we have to, what we doing here? We targeting p tag. It means on p tag we have to apply the color. So p tag, and after that we have to pass the color property, and after that value. So like that itself we will do here. So let's pass the style. What is this one? Which type of a style is this one? Which type of CSS? Inline, internal, external. Which type? This is your internal CSS, correct? Because you be writing with the style tag. This is a style tag. So on H1, okay. So we have to tell that H1 I want to change the color of H1. So what we will do? We will target H1 tag. So how we targeting H1 tag? H1 tag you have to target like this type, and after that I want to change the color. Let's pass the color. You can pass any color. Just save. Let me change the page. You can see that. What we got? We got the Hello India, and after that color is something. Whatever color we had passed. When you will put cursor here, you will got the complete color palette or whatever we can tell. And you can increase or decrease this slider and you will get a different color. This type we can apply the color to the text. Yesterday someone had asked this question, how we can apply the color over the text. So like this type we can apply. You can take any tag. Tag wise it's not the issue. Suppose you be taking here, take here dummy tag. Okay, and now I want to apply CSS over the tag. So what we will do? We will apply color property and we can apply the CSS. Let's see our the output. Okay, so this type we can do this one. Fine. So next, how we will apply background color. Now what we had done, we applied the text color over this one, correct? Now I want to apply the background color. What we will do? So what I want to apply background color over the same text. Okay, so means now I want to mix both things, color and background color. So what we will do? We will write one more property. But when you're writing multiple property of the CSS, what you have to do? You have to apply this semicolon. Okay, without semicolon, it will not work. So you have to write here the semicolon. Let's say write the background color property. The background hyphen color. Never try to write the code by yourself. As you start typing, you will get the suggestion from the IntelliJ, and whatever suggestion you getting there, just press enter. Otherwise, you will do mistake, and due to that, you will not get the output. Because in the real world, what is the spelling of the color? The spelling of the color is COLOUR, correct? But in computer language, it will understand COLOR. So never try to write the complete code. Just take the help of the IntelliJ, whatever suggestion you're getting, and just press enter. So now we want to apply some color. Let's apply yellow. Let's see. So what happened? We got the background color. Same type, we can pass here also. Or even suppose I want for the complete body, means I want to apply the CSS for the complete body. So which tag will target? So this is the way of writing the code, means this is the way of targeting any tag. So here we will target body tag. Okay, so let's take the body tag and after that provide the background color. Background color and after that take anything. This will become your background color, the complete body, because we had written the body section. Clear? So this way we can apply CSS for the color, and means this way we can change the color of the text and the background color of the body. You can see here, you can set the background color for the HTML. Here below examples is there for the hello world, some color is there, and this become the output. Next, text color. Text color just now we seen the same thing is there. No any changes. You have to use the color property. You can see here the color dongre dodeger blue. Some different color name is there that we can apply any color name. You will got the output. Next, border. So what is border property actually? So now we had written this hello India. Okay. My motto is that to apply border over this. Okay. How we can do? Take care this point because after this you will got one task. So just learn properly this one. So what is our requirement? Our requirement to put border over this text. Okay. So let's see how we can do. So what we done now, what we are doing, we are mixing all the CSS. Slowly we going to mix all the CSS. So what is our requirement? Our requirement is to apply border over this H1. Where is that code? So this is your code on H1. And on H1, we want to apply the border. So let's see how we can apply border. So what we have to do? We have to take a style in same type, same page of writing code. And after that, we have to put the border property. Let's see. So here we will write border property. And as you taking the border property have three, means we have to pass three value. When you suppose that now you can imagine one thing, whatever you learning now, sure and short after 2 days you will forget. That is the case. Then just imagine how you will work inside the company. Now you taking any training, any courses, or if you going by self-study, then how you will work inside the industry. Because that time, suppose after 2 months, after 3 months, or even after 2 years, you will forget the code, writing the code, then how you will work. So the way of writing code, we have to take the suggestion hint from the coding, means our editor itself. Editor will give you the suggestion. So now suppose border, we have not idea that how you will write the code for the border. But what you can do, put cursor over this. When you will put cursor, you will get one syntax here and it will show you what are the things you have to pass. So what are the things? One is line width. In the sense you have to pass the thickness of the border, how much thickness you want. Put here something 5 pixel. Okay, let's save. Let's see whether we getting anything. We not got anything. It means some more property is required. Next property, line style. Which type of style of the border you want? So suppose in the means we will pass the border, different border styles are there. So we will pass solid. Let's see. Now it's working. So we got something. Means the border color and the text color both are same. Okay, because we had not passed any color. So let's see now next. Put cursor over this and see what is the next line. Next is color. Means if you want some special type of color, means now text color and border color both are same. But if we want some different color for the border, we can provide our color name here. As you will pass the color name, you will got that border output here. Got it? So this type we have to add border over anything. It means what be written? Be written the border property And after the border property, we had written the thickness of the border. After that, we had written which type of style I want. So line style, that is solid. So different property it have, different border property. We will discuss that in the upcoming. And after that, we had passed the color. So while writing, don't learn the code because sure and short tomorrow you will forget. But learn the way of writing the code. That will help you in the practical life. Because in practical life, you will forget this complete thing, whatever you are learning now or whatever. But you will never forget the ways of writing the code, how you writing the code, how you thinking the logic. That you will never forget. So try to learn the process, how you anyone is writing the code. That you have to learn. Don't learn the background color, this, that. This you will get in Google itself. Okay. So this time what we can do? We can write the border with any tag. Suppose that here p tag. If we want to apply the border, just copy this complete code and pass here. But suppose for border color means border style solid is there. I not want the solid. There are different property also. Maybe okay. That we got the different border. Okay. So this type we can add the border in the our CSS file. So now you can see we have the border, we have the background color, border, text color. This way we can write that. Next, border style. Border style is nothing, whatever just a border we had passed here. You can see here we had passed two type of border. One border is solid and one border is groove. Okay, so this is known as the border style. Suppose why I will believe on someone. So just put cursor, it IntelliJ will show you. Line width, line style and color. That means the border style. And if you have to know some deep knowledge regarding this, you can go on the MDN reference. Okay, because this is the official website. You can go there and you can check. When you putting cursor, automatic it will give. Just click, it will automatically redirect on the MDN website. So let's see what are the different border. So one is a dotted or define a dotted border. If you want the dotted type of border, it will give you dotted. So how we will give? We will try somewhat, not all. Suppose in the border, suppose in the body section, I want to pass this border. Let's pass. I will try 1, 2. That's it. What is that? Dotted. Now you can see in the complete body. Means the content is this much only. That's why we getting this. As the content will increase, your this border area will also increase. So this type we are adding the border in the complete body, complete page. So dash border, it will give you the hyphen type, solid border. Then next double, it will give you the double border. Many time in that design you will see that you will get this type of border. Let's say. Yeah, anyone have issue? Now you can see we got the double border. Means outside it's look like two border is there, but we had applied only one CSS and CSS property itself have double. Okay, so that will help you in creating the double border. Then groove, it will give you 3D type of border. Then a ridge. Then next in a inset. Then offset. Then none. If you not want any border, you can pass none. That's it. No border will come. Next a hidden. It's going to hide that border. So this type be writing the border property different, but whatever code we had written just now, that is the shorthand notation. This is known as the shorthand notation. In the sense, in one line of code, you had passed all the thing. If you want separate, that also we can pass. So this is the way of writing. So what we passed total? We passed border width, border style, next border color. Three things we had passed. You can see here. We passed 5 pixels, that become the border width. Then one we passed the style and next we passed the color, border color. No one will ask you what are the different styling of the border. No, but maybe in interview they will ask how to write the border. That is the thing. So this type we can get the border. Anyone have any doubt up to now? You can tell.
Sir.
Yeah.
So yesterday you are saying tomorrow I explain what is div class, what is div ID.
Yeah. That in the upcoming we will discuss that. Don't worry. In the
Okay.
selector.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Anyone have any issue up to here? How we can apply border? How we can apply background color? Anything you can tell. Are you feeling bored?
No, sir.
Sir, explain the double border.
Okay. So see, in the case of double border, we just giving the styling name here. That's it. Like here we have group. Okay. You can see when you will zoom actually, then you can see here we had used that group border. Group will look like 3D type. Okay. When we passing on the top, you can see it's a double boundary type. It's coming. Means when we will write this code directly, double itself, it will give you this style. And actually, no need to remember this thing. You will get slowly idea. Means this will like approx, I think 7 or 8 border is there. That's it. If you will go to previous slide. Yeah. So this much border is there. That's it. If you will go one by one and you can check that which border is giving which type of a style, then you can get here like a double. Then we had passed here groove. Then here we passed solid. Just you have to remember one or two. That's it. If anyone, anytime, if you getting some work and if you have to, means in the real scenario, if you have to do that, you can search in Google, you can get. But you have to learn how to write that, the ways of writing the code. Okay. Nothing is there in this case actually.
Sir, all
Yeah.
styles are used in internal CSS.
No. You can write same in the internal, external. It's not the issue. See what we will do. We will create one CSS file. See, actually we have to just practice now. That's why I writing here for the easy purpose. I will write this with external. Make one CSS file. .css and same code, whatever we had written there, we will move that code there. Okay. Let's say Control X. Nothing will be there. And pass that in. I had just copy pasted. I had not done any modification, but this CSS and this HTML, how this both will connected with the help of which tag? Link tag, correct? And in the link tag, let me open that browser. Yeah. In the link tag, what we going to do? Here we have to pass the href. Okay, which CSS? That is CSS number 2.css. Do one thing. First comment this line. I can get the recording session, WhatsApp group number. Just a message there. Yes, we will provide the recording. So now see, there is no CSS. Complete black and white HTML. But we had written the CSS. Where is that CSS? In the external sheet. Correct. Here we passed it. So we will connect this CSS here. Okay. Now let's save. You got clear. So whatever CSS be writing here in the external, same we had written in the internal also. And how we had written internal? In internal, be using one tag, that is a style tag. And inside the style tag, we have to write. Got it?
Yes, sir.
This way actually. So whatever CSS be writing in the HTML, same we can move there. But actually now we are just practicing. So each time if we creating the file, it will be means getting too much time. That's why actually I had written. Same thing we can write in inline also, here also. But now you can imagine the problem of writing inline. If you will write this much line of code, suppose this is for H1, correct? Let's comment this and go here. How we was writing? With a style attribute. and pass this CSS. The complete CSS be written here. Let's reload the page. With H1, there is no CSS. Now just save. Got that? From where this is coming? This is coming from this H1. Let's try whether it's coming from here or not. Let's change the color. See, correct. Now you can realize the problem of the writing code with HTML. Now in this HTML, what we had done? We had written complete CSS. Now just imagine the same type we will do in all HTML, means whatever line of code we have in complete file. It become very much complicated. Now you can realize just we have one line of code, and in that we had written 3 property of CSS. It's become very difficult to manage the code. Correct. So that's why we never using this inline CSS. Same type we not using the internal CSS. We be directly using the external CSS. Now let's uncomment this. Is it clear for all? Why we writing internal, external, and inline CSS?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Anyone more? Anyone have any doubt? You can ask.
Sir, can we use border as an image?
Yeah, we will see that upcoming.
Okay.
We had put it those all. Don't worry. Okay, so let's move the next. So we had looked over the, yeah.
Sir, one question, sir.
Yeah, carry on.
Sir, suppose we want to color the background, whatever take in H tag present. So
Okay.
what we'll do, like
Again, one time.
in H1 tag, whatever
Okay.
content was present, suppose we want to
Yeah.
color that only. So what we
Yeah.
will do?
Correct. 1 second. Where is that? Last border color. Okay. Border.html. So see, we're going to comment this because external CSS is coming. Now there is no CSS. Fine. Now what is our requirement? Our requirement to color H1 tag. Correct. This tag only. So how we was writing code? We was targeting H1. Correct. And what I want a color. Pass the color. Means not only color, whatever CSS you want, you can pass there. Now you got only H1 tag. So what we had done, we had pointed out H1 tag, and then we had gone with the color name. Same type, if you want background color, you can pass that. Clear? This is coming just for the H1. So how you will identify that whether this is for H1, whether this is for P, due to this H1 here. Clear? So this H1 is going to tell the address that on which particular tag, on which tag we're going to apply this CSS. That will help you. Got it? Suppose if you have to pass for P, same type, you will point here, you will replace H1, you will pass P. It will apply for the paragraph tag. Clear? Okay, so
But
let's
sir,
move. Yeah.
But sir, in this line, it will take whole lines, sir.
Yeah, because yesterday we had discussed a block level element, an inline element, correct?
So what
Because
will we
block
do for the,
for which one?
if we want to cover only, sir, like hello
Hello
India.
India.
So
Okay, so
what
you
will
have
we
to,
do that?
yeah. So here this H1 is actually block level element. Yesterday we had discussed. So we have to take inline element. Let's take a span and remove this H1 here. Got it? Only in
Yes,
that
sir,
area it will come.
that's I'm asking.
Yeah, because it will depend on the content. HTML type means element type, whether it is block level or inline. Means yesterday we had discussed that in the yesterday slide that this is the inline element and h1 p div those was the block level element. So if you have to cover that text only in text area, then you have to follow with the inline element. If you have to cover the complete, you can go with the block level element. Okay, so this become the border property we discussed. Now suppose what we want, we added the border. Let's me add that one more time. And main thing is the naming convention of the file. So always try to use camel case. Okay, camel case in the sense capital letter starting will be capital letter, and when the any text going to change like border radius, so radius is become the new word. So second word which is going to start, that should be starting capital, that will be the known as the camel case. So always try to follow this naming convention. Not only now, in the industry also you have to follow like this. Okay, so suppose we going to apply border color. Take radius, means we want to create border on the span tag. Sorry. Span. And on this, I want to create border. Border, I will give 5 pixel. Okay, I will take another border that is groove, that will look like 3D type. And after that, we will go with some color. Let's save. What is that? Border. RADIUS. So we got the radius of the border. But now, what I want to make border already we had discussed. So now my requirement is to make the border of the corner of the border to be circular type. It means now we getting the square shape. Now I want to convert into the curve border. How we can do? So that will help you border radius. BORDER border hyphen radius. You can pass here how much curve you want. Suppose I want 50 pixel. You can pass here 50 pixel. Px is the unit of the any size, anything. Okay. Means in HTML, we passing always px, percentage, those value. So what happened when we passed 50 pixel, it make the curve both side. Suppose if you passing 50%, let's see, this also making the curve type. Okay, so any border, if you going to create any border and if you have to make circular type of the border, you can use the property border radius. Border radius will help you to making that curve type of. Suppose this will be the h1 tag. Go on h1 tag and write the same property. Now you can see what happened. We got the border and that is in the circular shape. And why we getting the border up to complete end to end in the case of the hello? Can anyone tell what type of element this is? Why we getting element means border only this much area, and in the case of this hello, we getting the border, it's very big, the boundary, because this is block level element and this is your inline element. Inline element in the sense this will cover that much area, text area only. But in the case of the block level element, it will cover end to end, complete width of the UI. You can see as you will increase, the width will also going to increase because that is block level element. So border, it going to create the border design. Here the code border radius we will pass, and after that You can pass any image or anything is there. You can see in the image we going to pass this design. So let's see how we can do that in the case of the image side. Image. Okay, so already we know how to take the image. Yesterday we had seen image and now we have to pass some image source here, but we have not any image source. Let's take image. So how we will use this image in our project? Right click, copy the image address. No need to download and keep this file. You can use directly. So just pass the URL of that. Let's save. Let's see whether we getting that or not. So we got the image. Next, I want to provide the border over this image. What we will do? So we have to take the style tag. Be writing the internal CSS actually. So we have to take the image tag, and after that we will provide border. If you want just making curve, you can go directly with the border radius. Go with directly border radius 50% or 50 pixel, anything you can pass. And now you can see your image. It become the curve type of image. Okay. So suppose you want to provide means just circular on the top itself. Just pass px. You can see the changes. What changes it providing? Your image is there, but the boundary is only curved. So with the help of px value, you will get the boundary as a curve. But when you're passing percent value, the complete image become the elliptical shape you will get. Okay. So as you want more curve, you can pass the value more. As you will increase, the curve will be increased. Got it? Just now someone had asked how we can provide the border radius in the image. Now suppose this is just for border radius. Now suppose we want the border over the image. How we can do? So border property. And we can pass the thickness of the width, means width of that style border. So that will be the like how much 5 pixel be taken. Take that group and take the color. I going to take color as a red. Let's save. What happened? We got the border over the image. So this type we can add border radius, border property over the image. This type we can style that image. If you have to increase and decrease the height and width of the image. Suppose take the screen 100%, 80, 90, 100. Now suppose image is looking too much big. So we can decrease and increase the height and width of the image as well. So we can go with height property. Okay, and we can pass suppose 200 pixel. So height become 200. Suppose we want width, so we can go with the width property. And if we want a square type of image, now be passing equal shape, height and width. Now you getting a square image. Okay, so suppose you have to increase the height, width. So you can go with the property height and width itself. In the CSS directly, we have property of height and width. Sorry. We have to increase the height. We can go property with the height directly. And this type, suppose border radius, we can go with border radius property. Border, we can go with border. This type we can add the different styling of the image. Means your original image is in the square shape and it look like rectangular form. But with the help of CSS, we going to design that. No need to go to Photoshop and Corel Draw and do that activity. No. So here is one activity. So what is that? Create one circle, create one square, and create one rectangle. This is the image. This design you have to create. Okay, I will give you 5 minutes. Meanwhile, I can take break. After 5 minutes, I want that at least someone can practice this one, how we can do that code. This design you have to create. Now we had understand this. If you getting any type of activity, it means we had covered that part. Then only you getting. Just now we had seen how we can apply border radius, how we can apply this height and width. Just now we had seen this. So you have to create this design, how it will become. Okay, I will come back within 5 minutes. What is the time? 9:51.
क्या रे राहुल, रिमूव क्यों करता है?
Had anybody done that? Anyone got the output? Someone messaged he can't able to join that Debian's. Okay, he didn't call. Okay, one question. How we will got this one? Don't think that you know the code or not. Think the logic. Just think regarding the square. Sorry, circle on the top. How we will got this circle? Can anyone predict anything? Just try. Maybe we will not 100% correct. I also don't know, but we try. That's it. No one will try. Okay. So do one thing. First, we will take any type of tag. Just I going to take div tag. Okay. Either you can take div, h1, span, anything. Code is already available in the slide itself, but think the logic that how you can proceed in that one. Getting code is not the solution of anything, because you will get the code in the Google itself for all the thing. But you have to know the logic, how you can proceed. So what I done, I first taking one tag. Okay, div tag I taken. After that, what we have to do? So in the circle, what was there actually? In the circle, suppose don't go for circle, first go for rectangle. How we will got rectangle? So in the rectangular case, what is available? Height and width. It means we will take height. Okay, take height. Suppose we taking height 30 pixel. Let's see. Had we got something? No. Do one thing. Take here some content. Is this running? Okay. Got that? Now just be taken one dummy content. Here be taken the div. Here we pass the height. We pass the height. Okay. Now be creating rectangle. So height and width. Let's say take the width. So how much width? Take 50 pixel. Now also we not got anything. It means height should be less and width should be more. That's correct. Take 200 at least. Then it will look good. Okay. Height will be 100, 200. Fine. Next, how we will realize anything that anything is going on? We can't, because background is white. How we will do? Add background color. Add red. Now save. We got something. Now we got the height and width. Do one thing. Just try whether you are correct height and width. It's increasing or decreasing or not. So just reduce. It's too much. So take width as 100. Sorry. And take height as 50. Let's say we got height and width. It means this become the rectangle. Now do one thing. Remove this h1 because h1 is not in our slide side. Now what happened? We got the rectangular shape. It means we got the below shape. Now just guess how we will got this square shape. Can anyone guess something? How we had created this rectangle? We created with the help of the height and width property. Because in the rectangle shape, width will be more, height will be less. Now just tell me, in the case of the fire, what will be there? Everyone know that mathematics. So comment this code. So in the case of the square, height and width both will be same. Make 50 pixel. Let's save. Now see. 1 second. What is the problem? Height, width. No, 1 second. Take any other tag and height, width, Take the issue. Oh, got it. Wait, because we have two div section, that's why it got double. Yeah. So now we have height and width 50-50. That time it was a 2-time div. That's why 50-50 it become 100. So now we got the square. In the sense, we got a square, we got a rectangle, both shape. Now we have to create a circle. Now just imagine how we will do circle. Write one tag here that will help. Write one class, sorry, go with ID. Otherwise class itself. We will learn this in the upcoming. What is class and ID? So RECT. This is for rectangle. So uncomment this dot RECT dot SQU. By we taking this dot, we will learn this one in the coming. So we got both design, but it look like together because there is no gapping. That's why. Now we got rectangle, square. What I want rectangular shape on the square shape on the top, rectangulars on the bottom. What we will do? We will just change the position of this one. Take first, take this BR tag also there. Okay, so your square shape, square gone on the top, rectangular came down. Now we have to make one circular. Take one div and make circle. Here also we want one BR tag for breaking purpose, more space. Now take one class here also and CIRCLE circle. Take this class name and class. Okay, for the circular side, what we will do in the case of circular, take the same code, whatever be written here. We have to do some just little bit modification. So be given height, be given width. Now for making that anything circular means curve type, we have to take border radius property, because border radius going to give you the circular shape, and take border radius as 50%. And now you can see we got the circular shape, means whatever design we have, we got the same design. Correct? It arranging actually there, but we can get that also. That's not the issue. Okay, so this type we can get that design. If you want in the complete order, take this, make one div, put inside one style here. Margin left, auto. Right, not working. Okay. Next, you can get the code here itself. Margin left 50%. Okay, sorry. Margin, sorry. Margin left 50%. Okay, so due to 50%, it will come into the center. Now, suppose this design, this middle square and this bottom rectangle shape, that is not coming exact. What we can do? We can provide in the rectangular shape. Where is the rectangle? Rectangle is here, and we can go with margin. Which side? Left side. We can pass value. Give 1 pixel. Let's see. Nothing going to, just slightly. Oh, we are passing in a square. No, we have to pass in rectangular shape, because rectangular shape have to go that side. So we can pass minus 10 pixel. Now it slightly move, pass 100. Sorry, it become more. Pass 50. More less 20. Yeah. So this become the output. So what we done? We had used just only whatever studied still. Property, width property, background color, margin. We had got one extra. We will see in the upcoming session. Then here in this, for making circle, what we done? We had used the border radius property. Border radius property going to help you providing the curve type of shape. Okay, so this type actually we can design. So what we had done actually, think that logic. We had taken height and width. We make the rectangular shape, square shape, and in the square shape itself, we had to start curving that one. So this type you can think the logic that how you have to modify the design. The design will not look from the top of the view. When you will look over the design, it will not visualize clearly that what you have to do. But when you making that, when you digging into this into the design, you have to break that step by step. Then only it will look like. If you will remove the BR tag, all will be look like that one cartoon type of image. Just remove this BR. Now see, all got touched together. Okay, so this type we have to think about the design. When you working on CSS, you have to think regarding the logic actually. So complete code is here. You can practice that. It's not the issue. Next, you have another activity that is create one button with a rounded corner like below design. So whatever design you getting here, you have to design like this. Means you have to create the button like this type design you have to get. The same property we have to use again, border radius property. This property will help you in making this design again. So what is there? We have to take button. Okay. So when you are attending interview on the UI based, okay, UI in the sense web developer, that time you will get some task like this type that you have to perform some activity. They will give you some sample design, and on that design itself you have to work. Means you have to submit that assignment, some task. That will be like the interview process of the front end side application. You have to know this all basic actually, that how you can move in those steps. Then only you can crack the interview. Coding they will ask, but before coding they will, many time you will see that they will provide you the assignment type task. That is the thing. Okay, so what is requirement? Our requirement to design the button. So how we getting the button? Yesterday we had studied HTML. So how we can get button? With the help of the form. Okay, so now we will take the button. So take button, write anything. Suppose I writing home, and here a button tag, target the button itself, and after that, so what is our requirement? Our requirement is to design that button. That's okay. Let's save. Let's look over the output first. Whether we getting, okay, we got the button. But what is our design? Our design should be like this, means border is there. Pass the border. Go a step by step, then only you can get the idea. Border, okay. So let's apply the border property. Border, how much we can give? Let's pass 5 pixel. GROOVE group. This become the border style, and we have to pass the color. Let's say take green. Let's save. What happened? We got the border of the button. Next, but you can see that background of the color of the border where the home is written, some color is there. We will pass the color also. How we can pass? Background color. Okay, and take the background color, anything. So we got the background color. Next, the curve, first and fourth, sorry, first and third corner you getting that is cubical type of shape, means curve type of shape. How it will come? Border radius. In border radius, we have total 4 corner. So in all corner, we can pass the value. So which corner we want? We want first corner. We can pass first corner value. Suppose I passing 50 pixel. Okay. Second corner, I not want any value, pass 0. Third corner, again I want, pass 50 pixel. Fourth corner, I not want anything, just save. Let's go to UI. We got. But now you can see that one problem. Our button is coming like this type. It means some problem is there. So you can see that a space between the button, a space height and width. So what we can do? We can provide the height and width. Let's pass height and width. So height is not much more. Just give 20 pixel. Let's try. Okay, give somewhat more pixel. Okay, and now give the width. Take width as a 200 pixel. Now just reduce this width. That is fair enough. No, not 100. 50, I think is going to be more. 25, take that. Yeah, fine. Now it's looking good. Border radius, we can decrease this one somewhat, then it will look good. 25, little bit more, 30. Yeah, same value we will pass here. Okay, so this type we can make the design of the different type of the button styling. Means this type we can style the button. So if we have 3 or 4 type of 4 button, copy paste, all button will get the same design. And this was the scenario. Okay, color is different, something is different, but how we had start thinking? We start thinking that first we had taken just one button. Next step, we start taking the border because we want the border. After that, we taken the background color because we want background color. After that, we had gone with the height and width. Then we have to make curve. How we can make curve? With the help of the border radius property. In border radius, we can pass single value. It become for all that, means all the corner. If we passing all 4 value, it means for all the direction, all corner you will get the value. So this way you have to think that logic. So here is the code. You can practice that. What is the time? Time become 10:14. For today, just let it to be up to here itself. Margin we will continue tomorrow. If you have any doubt, you can ask. Let me stop the recording.